Meet Liam Carter, the son of Ronald Carter, the richest man in the United States. And today, Liam wasn't the billionaire son of Ronald Carter. Today, he was just Liam, the new night security guard, starting his first shift. Before we start, tell us the country you are watching from. Liam Carter stepped out of the back seat of a nondescript black sedan and pulled the brim of his security cap lower over his eyes. The sleek downtown skyline of New York shimmered in the distance, but he wasn't looking up. He was staring at the entrance of Carter Holdings, the empire his father built, the one he was set to inherit. But not today. Today, Liam wasn't the billionaire son of Ronald Carter. Today, he was just Liam, the new night security guard, starting his first shift. He adjusted the scratchy uniform collar, already missing the tailored comfort of his usual Armani suit. He'd left his expensive Rolex at home and wore a cheap digital watch he picked up from a street vendor. Everything about him was deliberately ordinary. That was the point. He wanted to find someone who saw him, not his last name. "Hey, newbie," a gruff voice called out as Liam approached the guard station. "You're late." The speaker was Harold, a 60-something senior guard with a coffee mug permanently attached to his hand and a habit of chewing gum like it owed him money. "Sorry, sir. Subways were packed," Liam replied smoothly, stepping into character. Harold grunted. "You'll get used to it. Just don't get fired on your first day. This place eats rookies alive." The next few hours passed slowly. Liam learned how to monitor the cameras, clock in the janitorial staff, and walk the dimly lit perimeter every hour. He didn't mind the work. What fascinated him was watching people, how they acted when they didn't know someone important was watching. Then around 10 p.m., she walked in. Maya Evans. She wasn't dressed fancy, black jeans, beige sweater, flats. Her hair was tied in a loose bun, a few curls falling out around her soft brown face. She was talking on the phone, laughing at something, her voice low and musical. She tapped her employee badge against the scanner, barely noticing Liam. But he noticed her. He kept noticing her as she made her way toward the elevators. There was something grounded about her. No fake airs. No nervous flattery. Just real. "You've got that look," Harold muttered beside him, sipping from his coffee. "What look?" Liam asked, trying to act clueless. The look guys get when they spot trouble with nice eyes and a good laugh. Liam chuckled. "Just curious. I haven't seen her before. HR, night audit team. Works late most days. Hardworking. Way out of your league. Rookie." Liam smiled faintly. "We'll see about that." The next night, Liam was prepared. He brought an extra cup of coffee, just in case. When Maya entered, she looked more tired than the night before. Her shoulders slouched as she scanned her badge and headed straight to the elevator. "Rough night?" Liam asked, holding out the second cup. She paused, surprised. "Are you talking to me?" He nodded, offering a small smile. "Saw you come in yesterday. You look like you could use this." Maya hesitated, then slowly took the cup. "Thanks. I'm Maya." "Liam. New guy." "I can tell," she said with a teasing grin before taking a sip. "Wow, this is actually decent." He laughed. "Only the best gas station blend." They stood in silence for a second. Then the elevator dinged, opening behind her. "Well, thanks, Liam. See you around." He watched her disappear behind the closing doors. Over the next few days, it became routine. Liam waited for Maya's arrival, and she started stopping by his station for brief conversations. Sometimes it was just a smile. Other nights, they'd talk for a few minutes about life, family, even bad coffee. She never asked about his background. He loved that. She told him about her younger brother in college and how she was working late to help cover his tuition. She mentioned her father died when she was 16, and her mom was holding down 2 part-time jobs. She'd taken the HR position straight out of college, even though it wasn't her dream. "And what's her dream?" he asked one night. "To be a child psychologist," she said quietly. "But dreams don't pay the rent. You ever think about just going for it anyway?" She looked at him, her eyes searching. "All the time. But it takes more than guts. It takes money, time, luck." Liam nodded, hiding the fact that he had all 3. As the days passed, Liam found himself struggling to stay in character. It wasn't just about pretending to be poor anymore. It was about being honest with Maya without ruining everything. Would she still smile at him if she knew he owned the company? One night, Harold came back from a break holding a gossip magazine. "Hey, check this out," he said, flipping it open. "Carter Holdings' golden boy's back in town. Ronald Carter's son. What's his name again?" "Liam," Maya's voice suddenly said from behind. Both men looked up. She'd walked up mid-conversation, sipping from her nightly coffee. "That's him," Harold grunted. "Supposed to be some spoiled rich kid who never worked a day in his life." Liam froze. Typical, Maya sighed. "Probably thinks he can buy love with a yacht." Liam forced a chuckle. "Yeah, guys like that don't know what real life is." But inside, something twisted. He was falling for her, and she hated him. Or, at least, the version of him she thought she knew. How long could he keep this up? He looked at Maya, her kind smile lighting up her tired face. He knew the secret couldn't last forever. But maybe, just maybe, he had time to win her heart before the truth came out. For the next 2 weeks, Liam and Maya's connection grew deeper. Every night shift turned into something Liam secretly looked forward to. The dim glow of the security station felt warmer whenever Maya came around. Their talks became longer, more personal. Sometimes she stayed long after her shift ended, sitting on the edge of the reception desk, sipping her cheap gas station coffee and laughing at Liam's dry jokes. But as much as their friendship blossomed, Liam's guilt grew too. She didn't know he was a billionaire. She didn't know the man she was slowly trusting, maybe even starting to like, was actually her boss's son, hiding in plain sight. And Liam knew. The longer he kept it a secret, the more explosive the truth would be. One rainy Thursday night, the power flickered inside the building. A thunderstorm raged across the city, loud enough to rattle the windows. Half the staff had gone home early, but Maya stayed behind to finish some audit reports. Around 11:30 p.m., she appeared at Liam's desk, holding a stack of papers and a nervous smile. "You okay?" Liam asked, standing. "I hate storms," she said softly. "Always have." Liam gestured to the empty chair beside his desk. "Want to wait out here?" She hesitated, then sat. The lights flickered again. "Thanks," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "Storms don't last forever," Liam said, watching her. She gave a small smile. "Neither do secrets. But they still mess up everything while they're here." Liam's breath caught. Was she talking about me? "What do you mean?" he asked carefully. Maya looked away, fiddling with a paperclip. "I was engaged once. A long time ago. Guy was charming, sweet, said all the right things. But he was lying to me the whole time. Found out he was cheating and lying about his job. Said he was an engineer. Turned out he was unemployed and scamming people." Liam swallowed hard. "That's rough," he said quietly. "Yeah, ever since then, I have a thing about liars, she said, locking eyes with him. Even small eyes. He gave a stiff nod, then looked away. The weight of his secret hung between them like the dark clouds outside. The next night, Maya didn't come in. Liam waited. Every elevator ding made his heart jump. But no Maya. He didn't have her number, and asking around would raise suspicion. He went home that morning anxious, distracted. Had she gotten sick? Quit? Did she find out who he was? He returned the following night and was relieved when she walked in just past 9:45 p.m., hair slightly wet from rain. You weren't here last night, he said, standing up. I had to go see my mom. She had a small accident, Maya explained. She's fine, just twisted her ankle. Liam nodded, then hesitated. You scare me a little. She smiled. That's sweet, security guy. Then, without warning, she added, I miss talking to you too. Something shifted in the air between them. Warm. Close. Liam could feel it. This wasn't just a friendship anymore. But he also knew that with every moment he delayed the truth, the risk grew. That weekend, Liam's father, Ronald Carter, returned from an overseas business trip and summoned Liam to the penthouse office. You've had your little undercover game long enough, Ronald said sternly. Come back upstairs. Investors are asking where you've been. I need more time, Liam replied. Ronald raised an eyebrow. More time playing poor? More time getting to know someone. That caught Ronald's interest. A woman. Liam nodded. She's real. She treats me like a person, not a paycheck. And you think she'll still look at you the same when she finds out you're me in training? Liam looked away. I don't know, but I have to find out. Back on his shift that night, Liam had a plan. After Maya arrived, he asked her if she wanted to grab coffee. Real coffee, not the gas station kind. To thank you, he said, for being the best part of these shifts. Maya laughed. Flattery, huh? All right. One coffee. They went the next morning to a small cafe down the street. No guards. No suits. Just Liam and Maya in their worn work clothes, drinking lattes at the corner booth. I like this, she said, sipping. No pretense. Just real conversation. You deserve real, he said. Then he paused, heart pounding. Maya, there's something I need to tell you. She looked up curious. But just as he opened his mouth, her phone rang. She answered, frowning. Wait, what? Are you serious? No, I had no idea. Liam watched her face change. Her eyes narrowed, mouth tightened. She hung up and stared at him. That was my friend in HR, she said slowly. She just told me. You're Liam Carter? The billionaire son of the CEO? Liam's heart dropped. Maya, you lied to me, she whispered, standing up. This whole time, I just wanted to know if someone could love me without the money. And you thought deceiving me was the way to do it? She snapped. He stood too. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was going to tell you today. You should have told me from the start, she said, her voice tight. You were right about one thing, though. What's that? I hate liars. And with that, she walked out of the cafe, the bell above the door jingling like the end of a chapter. Liam sat back down, the weight of her words settling on his chest. He had found the one real thing he wanted, and now he might have just lost it. Liam Carter had never felt more powerless. The penthouse office, the private jet, the overflowing investment portfolio, none of it mattered now. Not when the one woman who saw past all that had walked out of his life, her trust shattered. He sat in his luxury apartment that night, phone in hand, rereading his last unsent message to Maya. I never meant to hurt you. I was afraid of being seen for my name, not for my heart. He deleted it again. Words wouldn't be enough now. He had to prove it. Meanwhile, Maya tried to carry on with her life. But it wasn't easy. Every corner of the company reminded her of Liam, the quiet security guy with soft eyes and warm words. The man who made her laugh during night shifts. The man who, somehow, she had started to fall for. Only, he wasn't just a man. He was the Liam Carter, the hidden heir to the company, the man behind the empire she worked under. She felt stupid for not seeing it. But more than that, she felt betrayed. He'd looked her in the eye every night and never said a word, not even a hint. Still, it was the way he looked at her that haunted her the most. Not like she was a charity case, not like she was someone from the lower floor. He looked at her like she mattered. Days passed. Then one evening, Maya received a call from the front desk. "There's someone here asking to speak to you. Says he's from the executive board." Maya's heart jumped. She straightened her blouse and took the elevator down. To her surprise, it wasn't Liam. It was Ronald Carter himself. Her breath caught as she walked into the small conference room. "Ms. Brooks," Ronald said, offering a calm nod. "I asked to see you because of my son." Maya tensed. "If this is to explain—" "I'm not here to defend him," Ronald interrupted. "I'm here to ask a favor." Maya raised an eyebrow. "My son has been different lately. Quieter. Focused. He hasn't been the same since you left him in that cafe." She blinked. "He started a new project," Ronald continued. "Something he said he wants to build with you in mind." Maya's heart skipped. "What kind of project?" Ronald smiled slightly. "He's converting one of our empty office wings into a mentorship center for underprivileged youth. Says he got the idea from your story, how you work your way up to HR despite everything." Maya didn't know what to say. "He didn't want me to tell you," Ronald added, "but I think you deserve to know." He stood to leave. "Come see it when you're ready." The next day, Maya took the elevator up to the top floor for the first time in her career. She stepped into the West Wing, a space that used to be filled with unused cubicles. Now, it had been gutted and transformed into a bright, open-floor learning hub with computers, bookshelves, and motivational posters on the walls. At the far end, she saw him, Liam, wearing a simple shirt and jeans. No security uniform, no suit, just him. He looked up and froze when he saw her. Maya walked slowly toward him. "You really did all this?" she asked quietly. "For you," he said, "and for the kids who might be the next Maya Brooks." She bit her lip. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "Because I was afraid," he admitted. "I've always had people lie to me to get close. I wanted something real, and you were the first real thing I ever had." She looked around the room. "You didn't have to do all this." "I know," he said, stepping closer, "but I wanted to show you who I am when no one's watching." There was a long pause. Then she asked, "Did you ever lie to me about how you felt?" "Never," he said, locking eyes with her. "That was always real." Another pause. Maya stepped forward and touched his hand. "This mentorship program," she said, "needs someone to run it." Liam smiled, hope glimmering in his eyes. "You interested?" "I have a few ideas," she said softly, "but you're going to have to earn my trust back. I'll spend every day trying." 6 months later, the Mentorship Center officially launched. News outlets praised the Carter Company for the groundbreaking initiative. But what most of them didn't know was the real story. The security guard and the HR assistant who built it from broken trust, honesty, and forgiveness. Maya stood beside Liam at the ribbon-cutting ceremony, their hands brushing as the cameras flashed. This time, there were no secrets, just love, real, raw, and finally out in the open.